What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys another exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. Before you head out, hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it, everyone. So, this knife was sent into the channel by JD for EDC. He is a content creator. He makes awesome videos. I will have his channel linked down in the description along with Kunwu's website. Highly suggest after you're done watching this video, if you're not already subscribed and checked out JD's channel over there, I highly recommend doing so. So, back to the knife. We have a nice unboxing experience here. We have a pull string pouch here, and we have a Kunwu card. We have a microfiber cloth, a silica packet, which with this knife we actually do not need. And then we have in a cellophane baggie here, in the foam insert, in the magnetic closure box, we have the Kunwu Padre, guys. And this is a long-awaited unboxing for me, a long-awaited knife I have wanted to check out for months and months and months, and it's just never worked out to the point where I could get one. And finally, here it is on the table, and it is in my hands. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Going to be coming in Vanex super clean steel. We have this nice crazy blade shape. From the sharpening choil, you just have a constant belly up to that tip. You have a nice little cant here to the tip with a little swedge. Going from basically here all the way to that tip. We have a cutout, a little mini fuller on both sides. Plus we have a front flipper with a nice set of jimping on this guy. Going to work very, very well. The detent, guys, on this thing. Oh, it's money. Whoo! Oh, you can thumb flick it too. Oh, you're going to have to be careful with this blade. If you haven't checked one of these out, picked one of these up, and you decide to get one, you're going to want to be very mindful of the corner of that blade there. If you disengage this too low, you will nick yourself with the corner of this knife. Done it many, many times. That's why I have a bunch of scars right there below my thumbnail. That comes with dropping these right on the skin of your thumb. Very easy to open this guy up with all of the deployment methods. The thumb flick, the reverse flick. The front flipper works very, very well for the index rollover and your typical thumb rollover as well. They have this absolutely tuned to perfection. So let's take a little closer look at this guy. Now, they do make lefty versions of this, and they have a couple different versions of this knife. As it sits here, we have a heavy stone wash on this one. And then a bead blasted diamond texture, and they also make a smooth one. They make an all DLC one. They make a satin one with diamond. There's a couple, several different variations that you can get. And if I were to say and be completely honest, like the satin one would be cool. The all DLC one, that one would be cool. But if you planned on getting this knife and actually using it right, you planned on carrying it, you planned on using it, this would probably be the variant to get. You have that stone wash, that heavy stone wash, which is going to hold up very well to wear and tear. It's almost like it's a gray DLC that's been heavily tumbled. I'm not sure on the finishing of that, but it is a very heavy and nice stone wash, almost like an acid wash, if you will. We have Damascus pivot collars there, I believe. Yeah, that must be Damascus. And you do have it on both sides, which is a nice touch. You also have the texturing on both sides. And they could have easily just done a smooth version and been done with it. They could have easily just done the show side and not the lock side. There's so many ways they could have took the easy route, so to speak, with this guy. And they really put everything into these designs. That texturing, guys, is, you know, through a video like this or seeing it in pictures, it might look good, but until you get this in hand, you really cannot appreciate how well it's done, how well it feels. I mean, that's something you could just rub and rub and rub. And that's what she said as well. We have a geared titanium backspacer here. We have a milled clip, which I enjoy the upgrade because they used to just do a wire pocket clip, which, you know, they work good. They're functional. Ergonomically speaking, they typically work very well. But I can also say maybe not as functional as a wire clip, but in hand, if it's done properly, you won't really feel that pocket clip in hand either. But I prefer the milled clip, and I like how this one is done. You know, the lanyard, this knife would probably look even better if this was just complete here and then kind of done like a hidden lanyard hole just through the backspacer or something. I think that would have kept this even cleaner looking, but that's a very, you know, minute detail, personal preference. You know, most people probably are not going to put a lanyard on this, but if you like lanyards, there you go. You can actually put one on this guy. Why don't we go ahead and run our typical function check here, see what it looks like in the pocket. And typical milled clip, really, guys, going to have a little bit poking out there, but not a whole lot. And like I said, if that lanyard hole wasn't there and just say this was finished here, you would have even less. But all in all, not a big deal, not that much sticking out of the pocket. If we fold this over to kind of act like a thicker seam, if you will, this should still slide in nice and easy. Very good retention on that clip. The relief cut should not give you issues. Now, it shouldn't. That doesn't mean it won't ever, but the way it's done, it doesn't seem like it's going to cause any issues. Completely centered up, and I'm not the first person to check this out. Obviously, JD had it for a while, and then I believe he sent it out to some other people to check out. So I'm at least the third or fourth person who has handled this knife. So this is not necessarily the edge from the factory. I don't believe it's been sharpened. It doesn't appear to be. It looks nice and clean. It doesn't really look... Now, JD might not have used this a whole lot, and the people he sent this to might not really have used it other than to maybe just check the edge on some paper because it looks really nice. So I'm guessing not a lot of wear and tear on this thing, and the rest of it looks immaculate too. There's not a single mark or nick on this thing. And JD has a couple of these. He said, you know, if I was interested, he would sell me this knife, and this knife might not actually be going back to JD. It might be staying right here. So we are getting very low on our phone book paper. Oh, wow. Wow. Woohoo! That's ridiculous. And I'm not even shitting around, guys. That is ridiculously sharp. Holy hell. Wow. Woo! Guys, knives that are sharp sometimes have an issue with this phone book paper. So that just tells you how sharp this damn thing is. That is absolutely impressive right there, guys. How about up against a double-walled piece of cardboard here? We'll just take it nice and easy. Woo! Try not to cut my table. Brand new tabletop. Woo! Yeah. That is sharp, ladies and gentlemen. Cross the grain. That thing just wants to bite in. And then, like I was speaking on earlier, or at least I think I was, you'll be able to do my favorite grip, my favorite cut. You'll be able to really control that tip if you need to make a straight cut or a precision cut or you need to gauge how far you can go into material. You know, say there's a $2,000 door on the other side of this cardboard. You know, you can gauge, okay, I'm only going to go in, you know, a 1/4 inch or whatever. And you can basically use your finger as that gauge and only cut, you know, as deep as you want to. Not quite as easy on a slim piece of cardboard like that, but you get the idea, don't you? But all in all, guys, I see what the rage, I knew what the rage was about. You know, not only is this an incredibly good looking design here, a very nice size as well. This is ridiculous, guys. It's not coming in M390 or 20 CV. This is coming in Van-X, guys. So you're getting Van-X that is heat treated properly. That is a tall order right there for 90% of companies. The companies struggle across the board getting the heat treats of these blade steels where the hell they should be. That's one thing Kunwu prides themselves on, is getting the heat treats nailed down. And not only do they do that, but they put out stuff like this. I mean, and it's at a very good cost too. I mean, these aren't cheap, but these are not $600 either, $700-800. These are very obtainable when they're in stock. You know, they've had trouble keeping these in stock, and I believe, you know, they just had a very long pre-order, which, you know, I could have gotten in on, but I can't do too much like that, and there's other things I was interested in. I figured if the time was ever right and I was able to pick one up, I would. And JD got a hold of me and said, hey, I got an extra Padre here. Do you want to check it out? And I was like, yes. And typically I don't take loaners in, guys, not anymore. I just got too much on my plate. But he said, you know, check it out, and if you want it, you can have it. Basically buy it, you know, not have it for free, but buy it. And I said, yeah, we'll definitely see. Maybe I will. And I think I probably will. This thing is just beautiful and so well done. I mean, I don't know if I would change anything on this knife. I mean, sure, I wouldn't mind having the backspacer ran up a little further, but I always say that. You know, maybe the jimping ran further, which I always say that as well, but, you know, and it's not needed. It's just something that would be nice to have, right? It's not a make or break thing. It's not going to shouldn't dictate whether you buy or don't buy something like that, or something like the backspacer. The backspacer thing would just be another added touch in the ergonomic department, but still very comfortable as it sits here, especially in that choked up grip, guys. Absolutely money. The index grip, that is going to be absolutely money. This thing is sharp as all hell. It's not too thick, you know, as far as the blade stock is concerned, and it comes down because it's so tall. It comes down nice and thin. Detent is absolutely money. You can thumb flick it. You can reverse flick it. It does not matter. And the front flipper works very, very well. The detent is actually it's perfect almost. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want this any stronger, because then at that point you couldn't thumb flick it. You might run into trouble with the front flipper there. Companies and people have this notion that a front flipper needs to be light. Depending on the design, that might be true, but in most cases, if it's designed right, like this one, you can have that detent nice and strong, and it's not going to bother anything. And that's the case with this one. And then you have that nice touch with the Damascus and the diamond texturing. Yeah, this thing is absolutely money, guys. Good solid lock up there. We won't test the lock strength in this video. If I buy it, we will. JD's probably checked it, I would guess. And I'm going to guess it's probably solid, but I don't know that for sure. Chamfer on the lock bar is very nice, very easy to disengage, still centered up completely. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what you think of this guy. Have you picked one up yet? Are you planning on picking one up? Did you pre-order one? I know a bunch of guys got in on the pre-order. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciated, everyone. Thank you for watching. I love all of you guys. If you're new here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Or even if you're not new here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to have you. Otherwise, guys, that is the Kunwu Padre. Shout out to JD for sending this guy over. Catch you guys on the next one.